Kobe Bryant in terms of basketball. But, man, as far as a competitor, that mindset, that drive, that Mamba mentality, without a doubt, one of the biggest fans of Kobe Bryant in terms of that aspect of it. And if you could put his mindset in LeBron James, and LeBron James is one of my favorite players. I'm a big LeBron James fan. But he doesn't have that killer instinct to the level that he's gotten better, but not anywhere close to what Kobe had. So what's one of your favorite memories or your thoughts in terms of, remembering the late, great Kobe Bryant? Dead way too early because I think the latter part of his life, he was about to make more impact to people who need impact, probably more than he did in the sports world.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most tragic part of all of this is the great stuff he was doing after his amazing basketball career. Everything he had planned, everything that his daughter had ahead in her future, what everyone on that helicopter had moving forward that they were doing for their community, for others around them, that they were planning for their future. There was so much,
right?
So much that was lost on that helicopter, and just terrible news. And I think more than any moment, I remember the Mamba mentality. That's what comes to mind when I think of Kobe Bryant. I was like you in some ways. I was never the Kobe Bryant fan. The way I
Kobe and Tom Brady are the same to me, and that's just. And if I'd been a Patriot fan or a Lakers fan, then probably I'd have been drop dead greatest player ever. But that was not the case in terms of Kobe.
Yeah, and I was always Team LeBron when it came to who was better, but that doesn't
Yeah.
take away from what he meant to the game, what he
Right.
meant to this culture, this international culture that we've built today. He spoke so many languages. He would go around the globe promoting the game of basketball, promoting different ideas that he had on what we should be doing moving forward. And he was just such a great businessman as well as a basketball player. And I remember the free throws with the Achilles. I mean, that's a huge moment. But I also just remember the Gasol trade and what that meant, because Pau Gasol had spent his career in Memphis, and Kobe Bryant basically chose him as the guy he wanted to continue the dynasty with and play alongside. And the trade that sent Marc Gasol to Memphis, at the time called the most one-sided trade in NBA history. Looking back at it, it wasn't so one-sided after all, the great career Marcus had, but those are the biggest memories that come to mind for me when I think of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things is I like redemption stories, and Kobe. Today you're probably going to hear about all the great things of Kobe, but Kobe had some issues and some challenges in his past, and it shows you how much our society had changed. Had what happened to him those many years ago with the young lady, which he said was consensual, she said was an assault. They settled it. But looking how he went from that reputation to the reputation that he has today of being a committed husband, committed father, loving kids, pointing to kids, writing kids' books, just an amazing, I call it bounce back story. And it could have gone the other way. I mean, it literally could have, that moment in his life could have gone entirely the other way, but he turned it into something positive, and to me, that's going to be one of the legacies that lives on. And as a parent, I kind of look at that side as much more tragic than the people talk about the sports world, and I understand we lost a sports giant, but we didn't lose him in the midst of their career. So his impact as far as on the court and all of that had reached as high a point as it could have, and he'll be a Hall of Famer and all of that. but what he was starting to do and the impact he was starting to have in the life of the kids that he was directly connected to in terms of the academy and the travel basketball, to me is far greater because you just don't know how big and because of those words like he just talked about. Could you imagine if I was a coach out there right now? I would ask Coach Saban in Alabama for a copy of that audio, or I'd just get it. I would ask for the whole thing, but I would use that, even though he was talking to Alabama, when he's talking about not the young kids today just wanting, they want it now. They want it. They don't want to go through the process. And he specifically said, when things don't go well, what do? They immediately want to, I'm not going to do that and go somewhere else. And we see that not everyone that goes into the transfer portal is that way. And we as fans need to realize that there's a difference between grad transfer and transfer portal. Anybody that goes into the grad transfer is not, they're not quitting. They have finished one chapter of their life and chosen to flip the page and write another chapter instead of writing in this, extending the chapter they're in. The kids that are jumping in this transfer portal who after 1 year, like the basketball guy, what's the kid's name? From Kentucky, that 5-star recruit now has left the basketball program because he started numerous games. The last couple of games, his playing time went down. In 2 games, his playing time went down, and then he's left the team. I mean, Khalil Whitney. I couldn't remember the last name, but that's the type of kid. That's the type of thing that Kobe's talking about when he was sitting down with Nick Saban. Did you have that other audio where he talked about editing your life? Did you get that one? We'll try to see if we can get that, but it was just a quick snippet. I have it on my phone, but it's just a quick snippet where he talked about editing your life. If we can get that one later on, we don't have to get it right now. It would be unbelievable. I think a great challenge. What do you think the Kobe's legacy is in terms of his NBA career?
Oh, in his NBA career, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And I think his legacy is special because unlike some of the basketball players we've seen, it's not a legacy of his skill set. It's a legacy of his work ethic. There were other players probably in the league who had the skills coming into basketball that he had, but they don't pan out the way he did because they don't have that drive, that work ethic, that special thing inside that made him get up at 5 in the morning.
I mean, his nickname. I think most guys' nicknames are based off of their athletic ability. His is based off of his competitive nature. I mean, Black Mamba. I mean, it's literally the personality of that snake is why he got the nickname he got. So
yeah, I mean, you look at just the greatness and who he played with. I mean, besides Shaquille O'Neal, and he helped drive that team to the level that they got to. Of course, they couldn't work it out at the time. To see the reconciliation between Shaq and Kobe in the years before now, it's you look back and now you're so glad that it happened because you know that could have gone a different way.
Yeah,
there could have been those hurt feelings, that resentment could have held over. And I just listened to a clip of audio with Ramona Shelburne, almost the same thing. He was frustrated with the way she had covered the rape allegations. Said he would never speak to her again, and until she got cancer, he didn't. And once she came and after she had been diagnosed with cancer, he looked at her and he said, "This is bigger than that. There's things that happen that you need to move past." And for him to have that recognition, I mean, he's such a legend in the game, and he'll be missed for a long time.
Yeah, and that's what I had actually put a note down. As big as his legacy was and as big as his impact on the court was, he was well on his way to having now there's been guys who have had impact after their career. But I don't remember very many at his level having the impact and the intentionality that he was about to have. You're talking about someone who was poised to change the mindset of females in sports and children. I think Kobe was poised to have that type of impact and was well on his way of laying the groundworks. And we never know; it still could have a greater impact off the court, especially among kids and young people, as any athlete, because just his reach and his ability, it would, as you say, it would have been an international impact. It wouldn't have just been a LA impact or a local impact or a national impact. I think it would have been international. And I pray that that good work that he's done there somehow, some way continues through his wife and his family and all those who are associated with his academy and his foundation and his team. So remembering Kobe Bryant, if you would like to get in on it, say anything about Kobe Bryant, what he meant to you, what you gleaned from him. I know I learned some things from him, and that's one of the audio clips that we'll see if we can get it during the break. If not, I'll just tell you what it says here in a few moments. But that's Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest to ever play the game. Lost his life along with his 13-year-old daughter and 7 other victims on yesterday. If you'd like to comment, you can call the Taco Casa hotline, 205-342-9904.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, where the January clearance event is on, you'll save thousands at Townsend Nissan. No active wrecks, but we do have a dense fog advisory in effect with wet roadways. So please just slow down and be careful. And of course, if you do see conditions, give us a call, 205-886-8886. I'm Captain Ray.